that last moment on the beach for the family.
It was such an emotional night. It was like 3 a.m. in the morning. Guy and Priska, it was a dying scene just before we'd done a scene where Maddox sings to Priska. Like, it was just so high in emotion.
Guy was lying there and he was dead. And when the director called cut, he sat up and he said, "What a beautiful family I have." And in this scene, it was like as if he was rounding it up, saying, "Thank you, and I can see you." I felt loved and I felt seen, so I cried.
There was mourning and grief and crying and like relief, and I don't know, it was kind of the perfect scene to end on for all of us, because we'd had this massive experience. We'd really built what felt like a mum, dad, daughter, brother relationship. It felt really intense.
The four of us had really formed a deep, irreplaceable, complicated bond. It was just one of these moments where the lines between reality and the depth of the movie intertwined, and realizing that in this whole process we'd all really fallen in love with each other.
When an experience kind of culminates like that scene, well, it hits you, no? It hits you, and you know, it's nice to feel kind of a closing, you know, and a kind of a thank you to your fellow colleagues, and that's why we hugged, because at the end, for a moment, we were a family.
That was so special because my whole family was able to be there, like both my sisters and my mom, and obviously my dad was directing, and then we're watching this family kind of act this scene that's kind of based on our family and reflecting of our family and like all things that we've been through, and so much kind of culminating to that. And it was really magical. I'm so lucky that I got to be there to see that and to see Thomasin sing the song as well.
That night was very tender, very. He's usually very clear about his vision and about what he wants. There was a point where I felt I cannot go further in my emotion because it's too much. And I asked him to stop. And he said yes. He didn't even think about it.
The art form is so complex, right? Film is so many art forms together, so I have to write something with true feeling of vulnerability, and it has to come from something real. And then you have to find artists, actors that get that and don't try to corrupt it and really do their own version. Take that thing that I was talking about and then bring it through their instruments. And what you try to do is have the real life and what you're trying to immortalize on film be truthful.
And this is so beautiful. Yeah.
That was the specificity. Didn't have anything covering us. We didn't do anything to protect ourselves, and we weren't trying to be disingenuous about who we are, you know? You can feel when a human being is very truthful at that moment and saying, this is me, you know? And that night, that happened. This was the last time we were going to be on that beach. We finished shooting, and we did this ceremony where one of the crew members told us how to, you know, thank the beach and for what it allowed us to do, and certainly we were allowed to be there.
You know, I feel very blessed to have gotten this opportunity here.
I mean, a lot of you probably don't know, but most of you do know, like 3 days before we were about to shoot here, there was no beach. The days before we started shooting, the beach started coming back and the weather started calming. And I think this is our 27th day on the beach of shooting. 27 days of perfect weather for us to shoot this. The beach has come all the way back. And part of the ceremony is we're gonna take the flowers and just offer them back to the ocean and be grateful. Unbelievably grateful to be here on this night. So thank you. We made an incredibly special movie on this beach. People forever are gonna come to this beach looking for this wall and it's not gonna be here. But let's just all just take this one moment and go back to our lives and all of that stuff. But really, this is a magical beach. And just, you know, you can think whatever grateful thoughts. They actually said you could ask for something if you wanted from the ocean. But I got everything I wanted. So I'm just gonna be grateful. So we'll go to the ocean.